Right, I'm cooking one of my favourite dishes here. This is a Spanish omelette, or a tortilla, as it's properly called. And in this pan, I've got some sweet potatoes, orange flesh sweet potatoes, which are just gently roasting in some olive oil. And all I'm doing is every now and then tossing those over. They're going to cook all the way through so that they're completely soft, and also they're just taking on a little bit of colour, and that caramelisation adds another flavour to the finished omelette. Once those are cooked, we're going to take this bowl and we're going to tip them into the bowl whilst we cook some other bits that are going to end up in the omelette. So the next thing in is mushrooms. Just cooking these so there's a little bit of colour to them and they're cooked all the way through. Right, these mushrooms now are just beginning to colour and they're cooked right through. So I'm going to add these to the sweet potato that's already in the bowl. There we go. The final thing that's going to get cooked before we actually make the omelette is some onions. These have been finely sliced, and again we're going to cook these right the way through before we add them to the bowl, and then we're going to add the eggs. Right, these onions now are just beginning to soften up slightly. Very nearly ready. The most important part of any omelette is very clearly these things here, the eggs. And if you're buying eggs, that's what you want to be looking for. That's called the lion mark. And what that tells us is that it's been produced to the very highest standards. Now, if you want to check that your egg is lovely and fresh, what you're looking for with an egg, and that one really is, what you're looking for with an egg is for the white to really cling to the yolk so that your yolk is holding on to the white. All right, there's number 2. One more. And that's 12. I'm making a tortilla for 4 people, so we need a dozen eggs. And I'm going to just break these eggs up very gently before we add them to the vegetables. There we go, stick that over there. Right, my final ingredient to go into the bowl at this point is the onions. Now, the whole idea is that everything in this bowl is hot. And that's a good thing, because what we're going to do now is pour the egg over these vegetables. And then I'm going to break some feta cheese into this, just little chunks. In they go. And we're ready to make the omelette. We're just going to tip the contents of this bowl into a hot frying pan. There we go. We're just going to let that sit there and start to set in the heat of the pan. The omelette is just starting to cook. And I can just show you that it's just starting to set around the edges, still quite loose in the middle. We need to turn it over. You could pop that under the grill and cook the other side, but by far the best way of doing it, and the most risky, is to put a plate on top, put a firm hand on top of the plate, and then turn it over like that, and then lift it up and slide it back into the pan. There we go, like that. Put the plate over there. And whilst that's happening, I'm going to make a dip to go with the omelette. This is sour cream in the bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika to this. There we go, which will just give it a bit of seasoning. Some sliced spring onions, and then mix that into the sour cream like that. And we'll put that into a little bowl. There we go. Put that by the side. And then, same again, plate on top. Turn the omelette over. Make sure it's in the centre of the plate. And there you go. I reckon if you want a quick, healthy, really simple brunch dish, a sweet potato tortilla with onions, mushrooms and a sour cream dip, can't go wrong. And if you'd like to see more delicious egg recipes, then visit eggrecipes.co.uk.